Well, I'm delighted to say with me now, his first interview with AFC Wimbledon's new assistant manager, Eddie Niedzwiecki. Not the outcome any of us sort of wanted at the weekend, of course, but did you see plenty of positives from the game at Hillsborough?
Yeah, it was like a whirlwind week, to be perfectly honest with you. We had two training sessions with the players. We tried to give them as much information as possible, without too much, if you like, but we were really encouraged by how they try to put them into play. We went to Sheffield Wednesday with a game plan. Thought we did really well, and unfortunately at the end one small detail, if you like, just cost us in the end. But all credit to the players; they've been first class since we walked through the door, and yes, we trained them on Thursday, Friday.
It's good to hear. Of course, it's been a whirlwind week, as you've said. Just tell us about how it came about for you, though.
For me, I was actually at Wembley. I was watching the England and Ivory Coast game with one of my sons, and all of a sudden I get this missed call from Mark. Trying to get into reception at Wembley was quite difficult, but he mentioned to me about the possibility of coming in, and would I come and help him. So obviously, yeah, it went from there really.
Was it a fairly quick, easy decision to make, really, then?
Well, I've been out of work for since the summer. Obviously, I know I'm getting at the age where, how can I say, I'm getting on a little bit, but I'm still young at heart. So yeah, it was just a surprise to get the call, but yeah, I was delighted to come and help Mark. He's a good friend. We've worked together for a long time, and yeah, as I say, delighted to be here and hopefully can bring a little bit to the party.
Did the story of the club, did that grab you, though? That sort of made an immediate impression?
Well, of course, I know the history behind everything here, and I know how difficult it was to play against the old Wimbledon, and the piece of history that they've put into the past, and obviously now hopefully we can create a little bit of history ourselves. But had a lot of fond friends here, and when I first started on the coaching ladder, then Ron Seward, the old chief scout, come assistant manager, general manager, he was like a father figure to me. Obviously one of my mentors and probably my main influence in coaching is Don Howe, and obviously the influence he had here, and then obviously my links with from my Chelsea days, and Wisey and Bears and Vinny, the likes of these guys joining and working with them. So listen, I'm not lost on the history here. I know all about it, and as I say, I'm here to try and bring something to the party.
On the subject of a name from the past as well, I had a word with somebody last week who said to me, organisation, pattern, shape and good coaching. Those are the words from Glyn Hodges. Something you'd agree with in terms of what we're getting?
That's very kind of Glyn, but I'm not one to talk about myself. If other people say nice things about me, that's great. I just go and try and go about my work in the best of my ability and the way I think it should be done. And as I say, hopefully along the way then that'll help players improve.
But yourself, of course, Mark, Glyn, a few of you've worked together before in the past, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We go back, since late 1999, when we first got involved together with the Welsh team, and I was doing I was part-time with Wales, and of course Glyn was the 23s coach, and Mark was the assistant manager. I was the first team coach, goalie coach, obviously alongside Mark Hughes. So we go back a long way, and we've helped each other along the way, and that's how I believe it should be. And since I walked in the door here, not only have I been encouraged by the work ethic and the enthusiasm of the young boys, what they might lack in naivety, they try to more than make up for that in their work ethic and their enthusiasm. Hopefully we can give them some pointers that will help in that naivety. And on the other side of it, the coaches and the staff behind the scenes are ever so welcoming, and everybody pulls together, and no job is too big, and they've been only too willing to share and help us. And those are old traits, if you like, old basics that I love. So I've been delighted how we've been welcomed and helped in this short space of time we've been here.
So as assistant manager, tell us about your role. What is it that you look to bring to the role?
To support Mark, to advise Mark, to help Mark in any way possible. We share ideas all the time. Of course, at the end of the day, the manager's decision is final. But with my experience, then hopefully I can bring something that will help him too. We know each other very well on and off the field. So yeah, and we know which way we like our teams to play, but obviously we know building blocks along the way. I know it's boring and people have heard it all before, but you know, you need the foundations there. And on Saturday we try to give those platforms to the players. Bless them, they did that. Maybe at times they took us literally, but you know, bit by bit, hopefully we can get there.
There's a young coaching staff out there as well, a lot of potential there too, but also from your background, of course, being a previous goalkeeper, Ashley Bays, how much are you looking forward to working with Ashley?
Well, very much so. I mean, I remember Ashley as a young goalie, and I've known him a long time, and a very enthusiastic guy, but a great character, very good personality. You need that in buildings and in teams, and he brings that. And it's lovely to be. I hadn't seen him for a long time, so it was great to make that connection with him again. And yeah, you know, and hopefully we can drive this club forward.
And in terms of, we've spoken in the past about your run-ins with Wimbledon, what kind of memories do you have?
Getting smashed.
Yeah.
I was part of a Chelsea team that got beaten up 4-0 one day at Stamford Bridge, and I was going, oh my God. And but you know, credit to them. Listen, they got a lot of stick for maybe they were directed in one way. They used to play football, but there was a way and a means to it. There was many ways, you know, to play this game, and you know, they came about a very successful way. Yeah, so no, I mean, always very difficult to play against. Always very well organised, and a credit to themselves in the game.
But this story now that you're a part of, AFC Wimbledon, what they've done, starting from scratch, Combined Counties League, getting the stadium back, owning the stadium, what have you made from it from the outside?
Well, I've got to be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to Plough Lane now for the first time, obviously in preparation for tomorrow's game to see the way it works. But it's been a marvellous story, and obviously there are a lot of people here who've had such a feeling for the club over the years, and have that determination and that desire to take it back to somewhere close to where it used to be. And hopefully we can be a part of that journey. It takes time, and everybody wants things today, if you like, or yesterday, but it doesn't work like that. So, but no, listen, it's a great story, and as I say, I just hope that with my experience, I can help Mark, I can help the other staff, I can help the players, I can help the people around there. You know, an old head with wide shoulders, hopefully, you know, and somebody who doesn't go too crazy, you know, but is in control of the situation.
Good. In terms of our form as well at the moment, I mean, you've said it's been a whirlwind week. Have you been able to study how we've been sort of setting up, or is it just basically coming to it with a clean slate, starting again, really?
Yeah, I think it's important that we give everybody a clean slate and give everybody a fair crack of the whip. You know, listen, when we arrived last week, it was a 7-game season. We're now into a 6-game season, and we've got to get points on the board. So it's, you know, as I say, we've got to get through this period first. The talk is that we will, you know, ourselves and the club will review the situation we're in at the end of the season, and I accept that totally. I have no problems with that whatsoever. And as I say, the main job now is to keep this team in the league, and that's what we're striving to do. We know it's going to be a hard task, but you know, there won't be for lack of effort, I can tell you that now.
Some of these players with their confidence and so on as well at the moment, is it a case of just giving them that sort of, you know, go out there, enjoy your football again, get out there, you know, take a chance when you need to?
We'll give them the platforms that will help them along the way, that you believe will help them along the way. You know, I know, of course, spending a lot of time with players 1v1, you know, when you're losing and things aren't going so well, then, you know, make sure that you're in and around people, trying to help them. You know, football's full of ups and downs, and it's how you deal with those bad situations that help you when you get out the other side. And but of course, you know, stick your shoulders out, face the challenge, enjoy the challenge, be brave in the challenge, and then express yourself. Yes, we know in life that if you got a smile on your face, then you're more likely to express yourself than not. Obviously, that's very difficult when you're losing football matches. We've tried to bring that to training, but we've also tried to have a structure to our training, what we're going to do. We've got 6 very tough games left, and we're taking it game by game. And I'm sorry, it's an old boring old statement, but that's the way the game is. And let's hope that old Wimbledon spirit will help us along the way.
Absolutely. I mean, you've been welcomed in by the club from everybody you've met so far, but what kind of response have you had from the players on the training ground?
First class. Willing to learn, listen, learn, and then put it into practice. So no, absolutely delighted with that, and it's a breath of fresh air to see people and players want to take that information on board and and it's a credit also to Mark Robinson. It's a credit that what he has built here, and you know, the work ethic that he has in the play, that he's had from his players. And you know, listen, things happen in football. I've been sacked myself many times, and it's a horrible feeling, because you feel as if it's a failure on your part. But it's how you deal in those downtimes that then will hopefully pick you up in the future. So you know, I thank Mark, you know, for leaving this for us, if you like. I mean, it's not pleasant for him, but I'm sure he'll come back, and he'll come back better and stronger. Now it's our job to help these players along the way.
Absolutely. So just finally, of course, as well, we spoke to one of your players at the weekend, Jack Radoni. It's more than a South London derby. It's going to be under lights, cracking atmosphere. You must be relishing stepping out there. Yeah.
There's nothing like kick-off time. There's nothing like match day, and you know, to be fair, you get a little bit fed up sitting at home on a Saturday afternoon, or whether it's a midweek and you're seeing Sky Soccer Saturday, or the soccer programme on Sky in the evening, and seeing all these scores come in and itching to be involved, you know. So yeah, I can't wait.